When it comes to their candidates, Republicans are not sending their best. Minnesota GOP primary contender Royce White tweeted out a map intended to highlight the out of control crime in his state. So he sent this out saying, crime in Minneapolis, out of control. Come on now, refund the police. Which I get is supposed to be like a clever way of responding to defund the police, but wouldn't that just mean that like we give the cops money back? But they didn't give us anything. Anyway, it doesn't make any sense. And I don't just mean the caption, the map as well, because it's not a map of crime. You might have seen this going around. It's a joke map that was tweeted out by someone. It's just a map of the drinking fountains in parks in the area. It's just, if you need to find drinking water, it's not crime. But if you really cared about the crime, maybe you do some research, look into it. Unfortunately, no, it's just way easier to just tweet something out, get some clicks, get some attention. And that's what happened in this particular case. Now, anyone can make a mistake. And so just because you do this, I don't think that that's the worst thing in the world. But it can become the worst thing in the world when it's pointed out that you made a mistake. And this is how you respond to it. With Royce White responding to someone by saying, "You're a cuck. We're leaving the plantation. You and your weird liberal buddies read it and weep." No, like I know that you don't want to admit that you're embarrassed because you fell for a hoax there. But like us pointing out that you fell for a hoax isn't us crying. Like I know that you don't want to admit that you might be sad about it, but you don't have to project everything onto everyone else. That's not psychologically required. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the damage report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you. But I love that. You're a cuck. Why is he a cuck? He just pointed out that you were wrong. Like if you don't want to have that pointed out, maybe do a little bit of research, due diligence. You're a Senate candidate. It's supposed to be like a serious thing. This isn't just Twitter anymore when you're running for office. But he's pointing out we're leaving the plantation. The idea being, I guess, that there are black candidates who aren't running as Democrats, which is a new thing, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's certainly like a slant between the parties, but there's always been a share of black and brown communities that support Republicans. It's not like I know that everything has to be some new big thing, but that's just a thing. You're free to run for whatever office you want. And we're free to criticize you when you talk like a madman online. So he eventually posted a real map of crime, and there is crime. By the way, there are tools you can use that will show a map of your area and it'll plot all of the recently reported crimes. I would advise that you not do this because basically anywhere in America you're in, it's gonna scare you when you see that. But anyway, he responded to Keith Ellison pointing out the mistake he'd made by saying, "This is the left, a mockingbird echo chamber." I'm gonna pause there for a second because the reason you made this mistake is because you just heard something you liked on Twitter and you uncritically spread it. That's an echo chamber, actually. He's criticizing you. That's not an echo chamber. They really think this is newsworthy, not the actual map I posted with the shots fired locations. Keith, I know this is probably a staffer, but Minnesotans want to know what's being done, not making a joke about it. But you helped make the joke about it. And so anyway, he goes on to say like he's attacking them, saying it's unethical to prosecute it. Like nobody's doing that. Again, the victimhood complex is so pathetic on the right. I don't understand it. And so you might have heard of this candidate before. He's previously made news in the Daily Beast for he apparently spends like a madman, a common Republican thing, but he did go to Miami and spend $1,200 for a night at a nude strip club, I guess. So that's fun. And as you probably would expect based on what I've shown you, he had a very mature response to criticism of this, saying, "My left nut gets more media attention than this left rag. It's been a great couple of weeks. The MSM blinks every time I take a leak." You know, I think he actually is well suited to the modern day Republican Party because this is what they are. It's the Margification of the Republican Party. People like Royce White were just like watching as Marge got elected and they thought, oh, you could just do that stuff. It'll draw attention. You don't have to really know anything or advocate for anything. You can buffoonishly clown yourself on social media or whatever and swear every once in a while, call people a cuck, talk about your nuts or whatever. And you too can probably get elected. And look, he still hasn't made his way through the primary. There's a bunch of Republicans running there. We'll know on August 13th, which weirdly is my daughter's birthday. So I'm gonna be more focused on that day. But I honestly wouldn't be that surprised if he won. And if he does win, I would have just a word of warning for this guy. And I know he'll probably call me a cuck for caring about him enough to provide this warning. But the thing about acting like this on the right is it is a very good strategy to win a Republican primary. It has not necessarily always been such a great strategy to win the general election. Yeah, no, I know that Marge won. I get that in one of the reddest districts in the country. But you're apparently running in Minneapolis. I don't know that it's necessarily the amazing strategy that you think, whether it draws attention every time you leak or not. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?